Hey everyone, welcome back to Thrive Yoga Fit Transformational Coaching. This is Erin. Whew. So I just got done with a pretty intense coaching session with one of my very dear friends, also graduate, but before that, longtime friend. And I have tapped into a whole nother level of helping people in a quantum way. And there are different levels to this healing that we can experience. And the way that I've been coaching is I work on the physical, the emotional, and the mental aspect and incorporate in some spiritual, but not necessarily the genetic and electrical systems that we have within that, if unaddressed, we will have repeated patterns. And so I have recently went to a course with a gal named Michaela Grace. She's amazing, highly recommend her courses. And what happened was my tools that I've been using have been upgraded and I'm already integrating them and I'm already healing myself on a very deep level and starting to heal other people to where it's profound. Like the session that we just had, my friend was sweating and shaking and like tears just streaming and like systems being upgraded and unconditional love flowing and joy and healing traumas that have been plaguing him for years and all in one session. And if there's one thing about me as a healer is that I like efficiency, I like to expedite, and I like quick results. It's maybe partially because I don't know, impatient, but I just like, it's like you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to stay in this space. Like we can all heal together and as quickly as possible, right? Like, the role of the guru is to help the students get there quicker, right? To expedite without stealing away the journey. So I'm still processing everything that happened, but life is life, and I wanted to record a podcast and get this out. So I wanted to give you a tidbit. So there are 6 hard drives that we can work with within the body as far as healing, and a great acronym is called MPEG. And we can go into electrical hard drive, into mental, into physical, emotional, genetic, or spiritual. And so the way that I've been coaching in the past is from the emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, but mostly on the mental and emotional. And it's interesting because when I go into traumas that I've had and I muscle test myself, which I'm also a kinesiologist, just in case you didn't know, I learned that when I went through the Tim Goyech and the Goyech Institute cell response therapy training. So when I would muscle test myself on those bodies, I would find that my emotional and mental body pretty squeaky clean for the most part. But when I got to some of the other hard drives, especially the electrical, it was like there was like so much disruption there. There was so many blockages. And so I have a way to muscle test people, either surrogate because I've been doing kinesiology for so long, or I can show them how to do it and go through these different hard drives and ask, is this where my blockage is? And there's different questions that you can ask, like, can I clear this without having to drudge up the trauma? I'm finding that most of the time, we don't even have to really talk about it, which is because um, not that I do talk therapy, I do a lot of processing, but there's a good amount of talking. Sometimes I'm finding that on the hard drives, like with my friend, there was something genetic that we needed to talk about and he needed to release. And it was all perfectly set up because we had cleared so many hard drives already to where it just like shot out, like super clear, like super fast. And then we're able to like, okay, like that you've spoken about it. I could tell that he started dropping in and already processing. So yeah, he had quite the healing. And this is something that I want to teach people. This is something that I want to let the world know is happening and that healing can be easy. It's even easier than I thought it was. I've always known that it's possible because I'm living proof of it, because I was a very different person years ago. I can't wait to see the person that I am in a couple of weeks, though right now, pretty good. Being able to use this new method in combination with my tools And then in the background, also creating this sort of sense of unconditional love that is pulling from source rather than pulling from other people. I've been talking a lot on this podcast about getting needs met. I believe that that's important in a relationship. With honesty with myself, I have also found that I had a leak or a tear or sort of like malfunctioning program or lack of programming on unconditional love. And I'm going to tell you why, because maybe you're going to resonate with it. My mother, rest her soul in peace, because she passed in 2021. But the way my mom would discipline, if she did discipline or just yell or, get upset, was rather than having a hum of unconditional love underneath whatever, she needed to address, and usually it was in the form of yelling, love would be taken away. I bet that there's some people that can resonate with this. When love was taken away, then this sort of ferocity would come out of like hatred and just like unbridled anger, rage. And it was scary. And my mom was diagnosed bipolar, right? So this was passed down epigenetically, genetically to myself and my siblings. And so what I had developed is a hypervigilance of, if I think someone is mad at me, or if I, sense a disturbance in the force, that I'm very hypervigilant. I'm scanning the environment. I'm noticing like micro movements in the face and shifts in energy field. And this has become a very beautiful gift for me, because it's what has made me such a wonderful coach, that I can look at people, I can scan people's bodies, and I can tell you what fascial train is out of order. I can tell you what emotion they're experiencing. I can even get into a lot of times what belief system they're holding on to. Like, it's that developed because I took this trauma and I sort of from there, like, turned it into a gift, transmuted it. Journey Through the Dark to Find Light, which is my second book, I talk a lot about this. It's like taking those sort of traumas that we have and transmuting them, alchemizing them into something beautiful. So that skill has been developed. But it doesn't have to be that way as far as pulling unconditional love away when you have these big emotions come up, because those emotions are okay. We are meant to go through the entire scale of emotions, from shame and guilt to joy and awe and wonder and anger. Like, we fluctuate. You just don't want to be stuck in the lower vibration ones, because then you start pulling that frequency towards you. And so this is something I'm going to talk a little bit more about in future podcasts. So in short, because I have to go teach a yoga class in a little bit, but I wanted to get this in. I wanted to, there's a lot of things that are coming together in my life right now, and I want to share with you what they are. So I'm coaching in a different way. I am opening up to sessions if you're curious about this new way of coaching. It's quick, it's effective. I can show you how to clear yourself. And me learning these tools is also me teaching these tools, because that's the kind of teacher I am. That's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of healer I am, is I want people to be self-sustained. I want you to be your own and best healing advocate. So if you're interested, reach out to Erin at erincoach.com. You can go to the Thrive Yoga Fit website. You can fill out the client intake form if you're interested in coaching. And again, this is next level stuff, y'all. And I'm so excited. Like, in one session, what we got done was like 10 of my sessions before, and 10 of my sessions moves a lot of energy. So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by, listening. And this is kind of a little bit of a ramble podcast, but I want to get this information out there. I want you to know that healing doesn't have to be so lengthy and hard, as that healing can be easy. Connecting to source and finding that space of unconditional love is possible. And I'm going to keep continuing some podcasts talking about this evolution of my coaching style, how I can help you, sharing as many free gifts as I can, and then giving you opportunities to work with me. So thank you so much for sharing this journey with me. And I'm so excited for what's to come. Namaste.